Okay, now that we've looked at the target browser, what that looks like, we're going to take a look at creating a gradebook of our own. So I'm going to log into garfield.empowerlearning.net and I'm going to sign in as a teacher. So I'm going to sign up with Google here, select my teacher account. One of the first things you'll notice when you get logged in as a teacher are there's 3 different tabs at the top here: instruction, scoring, and reporting. In this video, we're just going to stay in the scoring tab. It's going to look a lot like Infinite Campus does for you, where we're going to have all of our students on the left side here and all of the different standards that we're teaching across the top here. So let's take a look here. I have my English 101 class selected. I don't have a gradebook for them, but I'm going to be creating one right now. Click on this plus button here. In future years, when you have a gradebook created already, you can find a gradebook, but here today we're just going to create a gradebook to start. It's going to pull up our target browser. Here's all of the different evidence outcomes that we've been working on with to develop with KnowledgeWorks. So here's the measurement topics: oral expression and listening, reading for all purposes, and then here's the evidence outcomes associated with each of those. In green are early elementary, yellow upper elementary, and red middle level. I don't have any high school ones in here yet, but they will show up in a different color as well. At the very top, I'm going to start here by adding a title. So this is a gradebook for English for my 2017 year. And right now I'm just selected for my afternoon class, but I'll show you how we can also add this gradebook for our morning class as well. I'm going to go through the target browser and I'm going to select the evidence outcomes that are associated with my class. I don't teach any early elementary perhaps, so I'm going to toggle that one off and just look at upper elementary and middle level evidence outcomes. And I'm just going to go through here and I'm going to choose the ones that I'm going to hold my students responsible for this year. If I hover over the icon right here, I can read a little bit more about what that standard is, and I can select all of the ones that I'm going to be teaching to my students. You see here in the top right, after every click that I make, it says saved successfully. So there is no save button. Everything is saving automatically for me. Again, I've only assigned this gradebook to my afternoon class, and I got to go now and assign it to my morning class as well. So I'm going to go up here to assign. Right here it says that it's assigned to my afternoon class. I'm going to choose my English 101 morning class as well, and now this gradebook will be showing up for both sets of students. Click on the X here to get out. Click on the X here one more time to get out. Everything is saved automatically for me, and we'll see what we did so far. We have our English 101 class selected for our afternoon. So here's all the students in my afternoon class. And for a gradebook, I have the English 2017 gradebook that I just created. Here's all of the different evidence outcomes that I just chose. And so these aren't individual assignments like Infinite Campus shows. These are actually the standards going across the top. In a future video, we're going to show how we can look at the actual assignments going across the top here. But again, right now, these are just the standards themselves. I could go through here and give some scores to students if I knew how well they did, perhaps on this evidence outcome. I could go click on the 3 up here and just click in the boxes to start giving scores for my students on this specific evidence outcome. Now, this isn't an individual assignment. This is the standard overall. So perhaps I know this coming into the year, but I'm going to go and delete these right now because these are not useful to us right now. All right, so I got my English 101 class. Let me go into my English 101 morning class this time. So I had afternoon selected. Here's my morning class. I'm going to have to select a gradebook. I assigned it to the morning class as well, so I can select English 2017. And we see here now all of the students in my morning English class and all of the evidence outcomes across the top here as well. Let's look at creating a gradebook one more time. I'm going to go into a math class. Let's go into the math afternoon. And if I go to select a gradebook, you see the English one doesn't show up either because I didn't assign it to the math afternoon class. So I'm going to go create another gradebook here. Create a new gradebook. It won't let you save it unless you give it a title at the top. So always start by giving it a title. So perhaps this is math, or perhaps this is maybe more specifically an algebra class or something. And I'm just going to be teaching algebra concepts here. Save successfully there for me. I'm going to go through the target browser and I'm going to select the evidence outcomes that I'm going to be holding students responsible for in my math class. So let's see here. So I'm going to choose some of these. Just go through. And I'm going to click on the X here to go back. Now I haven't assigned it to my morning class. I'm going to show you what that looks like on the other page here, and then we're going to come back and we're going to assign it later. So right now we're just assigning this gradebook to our math afternoon class. Let me exit out here. Here's all of the students in my math afternoon class, and here's the gradebook for math algebra and all of the evidence outcomes that I just chose. Now I could go back into this algebra one, go into edit that gradebook by clicking on this pencil right here. And then I can go up here to the top right and assign this gradebook to not just my afternoon class, but to my morning class as well. Now, perhaps your afternoon and your morning class teach totally different contents. So maybe I'm going to take the morning class off of here, just assign this to my afternoon class. Go back out here. I'm going to choose my morning math class now. And we're going to see there's no gradebook associated with it because I took it off. I didn't assign it to them. And perhaps in my morning math class, I teach different content. So I'm going to go create a different gradebook for them. Go create a gradebook. And perhaps in my morning class, we are still working on some of these skills. So we're not quite up to the middle level skills. And so I could create a unique gradebook for each of the classes that I teach. Give it a title at the top here. So this is math for my morning class for 2017. And everything's saved automatically for me. Click on the X here. It'll take us back out here. So here's all my students. Here's all of the evidence outcomes for this class. If I go back to Math Afternoon, I could select the Math Afternoon gradebook, which is the Algebra gradebook. And here's all my afternoon students with all of the evidence outcomes for them. So I can create a unique gradebook for each of the classes that I teach. And I did this all here in the scoring tab. Hope that helps. Bye-bye.